Howdy doody everybody, my name is Li-Jester and welcome back to Your Only Move is Hustle or Yomi Hustle. Today we'll be discussing the character that's been in progress for quite some time, known as Mr.Red. He has had beta states before, but only recently became fully released and even then had a few bugs. But now he is basically complete and I'm going to talk about him. First move he has is Wait. Wait is typical and makes it so he doesn't move. Next we have Walk. Walk is his quick backwards and forwards movement, which has very short distance coverage, and it's just kind of meant to help keep up combos if your opponent is DIing backwards or forwards pretty hard. Next we have Run, which is a forward only move and just kind of goes forward. It starts up a lot faster than Super Dash does, so it can kind of catch that. And lets you just kind of move forward without having to worry too much about the windup. Next we have Zip Dash, which is a movement-based move that lets him cover a large distance whilst also giving him a short amount of invincibility frames. So for instance, if your opponent tries to tap you for a specific distance or tries to catch you, you can just move behind them. But it is countered by moves like Slide Kick, which have really low hitboxes, because the whole basis behind Mr. Red is if he gets caught low with a low hitting move, then he will get tripped up. Next up we have Time to Clean, which is a move that specifically avoids a certain amount of frames based on how many shots you're using, which basically means you can counter virtually every neutral base attack that is thrown at you. The only things that this is also countered by are moves like Slide Kick as well and Stomp. This is going to be a theme with Mr. Red again, as Mr. Red suffers from attacks that hit low. And next we have his jump. Mr. Red has the typical normal jump. He does not have super jump either. He does not have super jump though. He just jumps normally. Next up we have attacks. First attack we have is Try This, which is a frame 5 move that hits 3 times. Next move we have is Flash Check, which is a move that's meant to specifically catch your opponent if they're dashing backwards or if they're blocking and they don't time the block right. Next move we have is High and Low, which is kind of like similar to something like Drop Kick, where it kind of catches them when they're like mid jump or something. It hits twice and does 650 damage. Next we have Strikeout, which is another double tap move. It's just really good close up, frame 6. It does 700 damage. Next we have Gutting, which is the fastest neutral move he has. It is his frame 4. Next we have Rib Kick, which is a frame 7 move, and it is a neutral based counter meant to trick your opponent. Dragon Throw, which is his grab move, which has a unique animation and throws the opponent forwards always. It has no options and can only be used to catch your opponent if they are moving towards you. Next move we have Travel, which is similar to Zip Dash, but can be used instead of only on the horizon, can be used to go up or at an angle, forwards only, and does a good amount of damage, specifically 300 damage. Next we have Confidence Breaker, which is a frame 15 move that's meant to catch your opponent if they're trying to go towards you with a move that probably would catch you otherwise. Next we have Rocket Knuckle, which is an uppercut based move similar to Ninja's uppercut, but is a frame 4 but this move by Rocket Knuckle counters virtually every move if you're near them. Damage. It does 950 damage. Next move we have is Drop Kick, which is the same as Ninja's Drop Kick, but a little slower and does a little more damage. Next we have Barrage, which is similar to Oxob's kind of combo-esque moves where he punches the opponent a bunch. It hits a bunch. Specifically, it hits 8 times for 1,500 damage in total. Next we have Twister, which is a multi-hit move as well. That's kind of meant to, again, continue combos or just be used as a finisher. It is a frame 9 and does a total of... Next move we have is Hyper Shockwave. It is a frame 18 move and hits a lot for a lot of damage. It is a frame 18 move that can be used during combos and does an insane amount of damage, more than 2 bars specifically, and hits total of 10 times for 4,200 damage. Next we have Ravaging Shock, which is a minor opening move based on how your opponent wants to open up, and hits multiple times, but is more so meant to be used as a finisher. It hits 10 times and does 2,750 damage. Next move we have is Sparking Shock, which is another multi-hit move that does a massive chunk of damage, and is more so meant for finishing off your opponent rather than doing anything else. Next we have Shock Blitz, which is a very quick counter-esque move that's more so meant to deal with your opponent if they're at a distance. It is a frame 10 move, and has fairly good range, as you can see. Next we have Shock Rush, which is very similar to the rush-based move that Boss has. As far as I understand, Boss was kind of like the predecessor to this character, or is more so like an ally to this character. Now that we have full charge, we have Shock Axe, which is a very quick based move and is more so meant to catch your opponent while they're trying to move away, or while you're in mid combo. Is more so what it's meant to be used for. Next we have Shock Upper, which is a nice uppercut based move rather than a down based move like Shock Axe. Shock Axe is frame 10, Shock Upper is frame 9. And this also has the same exact feel as Shock Axe. Next we have another move that's very similar to Shock Axe, Shock Upper, and Shock Kick, but this is the fastest form of either three and hits straight. For also a total of 400 damage. Next move we have is Take Two, where it's a multi-hit move and has a nice wheel where you can kind of move a little bit. It doesn't seem it manipulates your movement all too much. Next we have the typical Air Kick, which is a frame 4. Take Two is a frame 8. Nice fast air move. It's meant for continuing combos or catching your opponent off guard if you're in the air. Next we have Whirling Jab, which is a nice frame 7 move. It just seems to be a frame 7, so it's a good move for opening up. Next we have Spinner, which is a frame 6 double tap move. And then next we have Sledgehammer, which is a nice down frame 8 move, but it hits pretty good for a nice crisp 600 damage. Next we have Zip Fall, which lets you kind of change your movement and go down very quickly. He also has the typical Super Fall. Next move we have is Shock Blur. Shock Blur is meant to be used as a finisher, as it only unlocks when you land an attack. Does a nice 15 hits and hits for 4,350 damage. Next we have Stole Your Jays, which is a move meant to dodge. It's just better dodge. This one's specifically meant to dodge frames that are high, that are 9 or faster, 9 or more frames. It's meant to catch like slow-ish moves, basically, is what it's meant for. It can basically dodge anything that isn't grab. Then we have Your Wallet, which is a dodges low on frames that are 9 or higher as well. Next he has Push Block, which is just typical push block, works only with meter. And he has typical brace or block, but it has no slider. For I Stole Your Jays and I Have Your Wallet, you can activate Fast Mode, which lets you dodge moves that are 1 to 8 frames. So it's really good. This character's very good at just saying, nah, I'm faster than you, Q. Next move we have is People's Elbow, which is a frame 6 grab / drop move. Rock over the ground and has a fun little emote. Next move we have is Blitz Kicks, which is a frame 10 move, which is a nice slider, lets you kind of catch your opponent and keep them in the combo that you want to keep them in. It's a total of 9 times and does 1,300 damage. And yeah, now I will show off Mr. Red in a fight. Alrighty, and there you have it. That was Mr. Red. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out. God bless.